Hi there guys, Sam here, welcome back to another video. You join me going through the first sort of UK review of the new VW Golf GTI Clubsport 45. Now this is the first one that I've seen sort of in the UK. It was done today, 23rd of June by Steve Sutcliffe, sort of like an automotive journalist from Auto Express. And yeah, I wanted to go through that. Now, if you actually wanted to see some driving and some proper real world action, I did actually drive the GTI Clubsport on my channel. I'll leave a link above for that. The GTI Clubsport is essentially the identical car to this one, as you'll hear as I kind of go through sort of like the bullet points around this car, other than a few sort of special extras. But fundamentally, the cars are the same. So please check that out from the link I've provided. But let's go through and see what they thought of this one. So yes, going down into sort of, and we'll go sort of through the images that they've got there as well, and to try and summarise it to you as best as I can. In summary of the car, this is essentially a GTI Clubsport, completely standard car that you can pick up for around £37,000. Now this car costs £2,700 more as it gets sort of nearer to the £40,000 mark. And kind of what do you get for that? Well, if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know it involves stuff like an Aquaprovic exhaust. It involves bits like a few little extra decals. You get a black roof. You get sort of like standard features like the speed delimiter is sort of standard. A few things are basically thrown in, but nothing in terms of like a power gain or anything like that. You also get 19-inch wheels as standard as well, which obviously can improve the dynamics slightly. And the Aquaprovic exhaust is allegedly a little bit lighter. Now, from their verdict, actually, they made a really good point, and this is something I kind of harp on about quite a lot. This might well be the last sort of petrol-powered GTI, and because of that, the sort of the heritage of the GTI for so long, that makes it really like a proper collectible car to have, let alone a car that you could actually enjoy and use as often as you would like. And yeah, the initial summary is that it's good. It does a good job, and that's no surprise. The standard GTI Clubsport is a fantastic car, and nothing has really changed in that. They kind of, going through, because I've kind of already read through this before, they mentioned how the speed's increased to 166, and they mentioned that everything's pretty much the same. They mentioned that obviously it's £2,700, £750 more than the Clubsport, which I should say, if you're waiting like quite a few months down the line to actually get one of these fantastic cars, a GTI Clubsport, a standard one, I would be pushing to try and get yourself on the order for the 45, because on a PCP's deal or on, you know, if you're buying outright, that's a small percentage. You know, you're still paying the best part of 40 grand, whichever one you go for. So I'd push for the 45 if you can. Now, I funny enough did speak to an owner on my Instagram, and they were sort of messaging me saying that they'd ordered it. Now, they haven't even been given a date of when they should receive that, which suggests that it's potentially going to be in excess of 3 months, which means it could arrive early 2022. So that's one thing that you've got to kind of be aware of. You know, you could be well down the pecking order unless an order gets cancelled or something like that. But some of the cool things, the gloss black paint on the roof is quite cool, the 19-inch wheels, all of these things would generally cost you extra anyway. And to be fair, I mean, VW charged £3,100 for the Aquaprovic exhaust alone. So for a premium of $2,750, it sounds like a bit of a bargain and a bit of a no-brainer, because, you know, just straight away you're saving a little bit of money, let alone the increase, you know, for the wheels and etc. So that's where I'm kind of at with the car. Stance-wise, it looks exactly the same. You obviously get a few of the decals down the side, and I'll go through the images in a second. And the Aquaprovic exhaust does give the exhaust a little bit of a nicer look. You still get sort of kind of like, I believe, the sort of gloss flat paint, not gloss black, just standard sort of black plastic around the side, which is a bit of a shame, as opposed to like the Golf R, which is gloss black. Yeah, it does kind of lose that little premium touch. I mean, I could be wrong, and we'll check through the images more in depth, but yeah, it would be nice, particularly the 45 edition, to be as premium as it can be. They mentioned how great the sound of the Aquaprovic exhaust is. That's probably a given. You know, it's one of the best exhaust systems out there. You know, check any reviews on Aquaprovic, you know what you're going to get. You pay for what you get, basically. It's a cracking system, and it's going to enhance this car, which is obviously filled with OPFs and GPFs and all these sort of rules coming in place. I think it's a great thing. 166 miles an hour in a Golf is nothing short of ridiculous. Curb weight is allegedly exactly the same, but they're saying it'll be a little bit lighter with the exhaust. Yeah, you're looking at a few kilos. Nothing really noticeable, although they say it's a little bit more nimbler. You know, I think you're splitting hairs really if you're thinking that. Mention about the infotainment, which you don't really need to know too much about. I mean, it's just is what it is. They also said they got 30 mpg on test. I've spoken to owners and they've sort of fed back to me, particularly the one that I drove, and they were getting 50 mpg on a long run and sort of averaging sort of around 40. It can be done. Obviously, if you're just hooning it on a test drive, yeah, 30 mpg is probably what you're going to get. But yeah, honestly, economy-wise, the CA888 engine is brilliant. So let's go through some of these images because I think that's what people are interested in as well. And some really nice pictures as well to go through. In white, I actually think that's the best colour. That was a fortunate one that I got to drive as well. And yeah, feel free to pause it and check it out for yourself as well. Black gloss door mirrors as well look quite nice. The Approach exhaust, it does change the look of the exhausts. Obviously, it has its own sort of unique, and it's got like these sort of like little drilled holes almost around it to kind of add to the experience. Inside, it's quite similar. I mean, again, yeah, it's not going to be anything to the extreme, particularly with all the cost-cutting VW have kind of been doing. From the front as well, it's pretty the samey. I like the wheels. I do like that red sort of lip around the whole of the wheel. I think that adds to it quite nicely. In a 45 badge, yeah, it looks quite nice. I mean, I don't think it's too over the top or too boy racery personally. I think it's quite nicely blended into the car. Whether or not you can probably take them off is probably quite simple. The black roof does make the car look a little bit lower. It's up to your preference whether or not you think that looks nice. Yeah. I saw nothing wrong with the one with the white roof, but yeah, this is what I guess they're trying to do as many things as they can to make it stand out, to be different. Personally, I think the exhaust is the main thing, and you're already saving on what that exhaust should cost, so you're kind of in the win there, whatever else options you get. The one thing that I will add is they mentioned that it has a Nürburgring mode. Now, I can't remember, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that you can actually get a Nürburgring mode on the standard GTI Clubsport. I thought it was something that was reserved for the Golf R with the performance pack. That's what, from memory, that I can remember. But this 45 definitely does have the Nürburgring mode, which obviously changes a lots of characteristics. If you get the DCC, which again you have to pay for, dynamic chassis control, that it just makes the car perfect, really. I'm not going to lie, particularly on UK back roads. That's the setting you want to set the car to and have it set up as. Really nice, stylish images there on the UK countryside, and it's nice to see the wheels sort of not moving. I think they look really, really nice. Those it does make the car. Is 19s too hard? Is it going to really improve the dynamics? Probably would make a little bit of a difference. You may lose a little bit of comfort as a result, but certainly for the look side of things, it's got a lot going for it. And the rear, you get a bit of an idea of the Approach exhaust. And allegedly, the sound is something special. And I imagine actually Auto Express are probably going to bring out a review on this. And you'll probably see them flooding through on YouTube. So at least this gives you a little bit of an idea of what the car is like, just from in writing, and whether or not you want to get one. Yeah, let's scroll through some more. Cool side-on image. I'm liking it. You can obviously get it in other colours as well, that suits you. I just like how the kind of like the white and the red works quite nicely. It blends in. There's sort of like the special Nürburgring mode that I mentioned before as well. Whether or not that's something that's on the standard GTI Clubsport, I can't remember, and hopefully owners can chirp in and then let me know in the comments. It's a community channel at the end of the day, so I appreciate your support on that. DSG, no manual. Yeah, I'm not going to harp on about that. You kind of know my preference. I love a manual, particularly in these kind of cars, but DSG, it's no doubt it's quicker. You don't really need to know the boot size. I mean, it's a 45, but it's the same. That's actually on Goodyear. I don't know if they're sort of premium tyres. The owner of the 8R, the Golf 8R that I drove, stuck Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's on like a few days after they purchased it. That's kind of what I'd go for. They're kind of the top of the range tyres. Whether or not these have been sort of like homologated with this, I doubt it. I think these are just sort of tyres that they've just kind of thrown on and probably got a decent deal from from Goodyear on. Close-up images there. Nothing really special. Again, I like the badge does look quite nice, actually, straight in the middle. That sort of performance pack style wing, and there's the exhaust as well. Really interesting to see how intricate it is, and the design of it's really, really special. And obviously a full titanium system, it is going to save you a little bit of weight, and the noise that it makes is going to be better. It's going to have a bit more sharpness to it, which is always nice. The wheels are a big step up as well, and all these things you would obviously be paying on top of getting a standard GTI Clubsport anyway. So if you're looking to get 19-inch wheels, and you can't spec an Approach exhaust on a standard one, the 45 is definitely the way to go. Same engine, 296 brake horsepower as I've mentioned before. Nothing has changed in the internals in terms of the torque figures or the power figures. It is identical. Let's end it on one of my favourite images, which is probably this image actually. I love the wheels and the look of it. I think the 45 is a really special car. I think it is going to be the last of its kind, really, which is really scary to say. I think if you're getting one, congratulations on your order and getting one. They will probably be a little bit more limited, and obviously with times being quite difficult in the market of getting hold of new cars with computer chip issues and all sorts of issues, as we all know, it may even be more difficult than a standard club sport. So yeah, potentially a little bit of a limited run. I can't imagine it will be too long before VW announce that what the kind of next GTI, the future sort of maybe Mark 8.5 or Mark 9 is likely not to have a petrol engine. In fact, it's definitely not going to have a petrol engine because it's never going to get through the sort of the next Euro, I think it's Euro 6 or Euro 7 regulations, which it's just going to be too difficult for the manufacturer to put so much money in for something which is just going to be banned in places like the UK, and they're fighting against it. So it's really great to see. A little bit of a summary here, and hopefully you found it useful if you're getting the car. I think it's definitely one to go for. If you're looking between this and the standard Club Sport and you're on the waiting list, I'd go for the 45. I think obviously if you want one today, I've seen sort of standard GTI Club Sports for around just over sort of £32,000, and obviously that is a significant saving over this, which is obviously just under £40,000, no options. So I hope you enjoyed this little summary. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Obviously I talk about these cars quite a lot. Let me know what you think. If you're getting one, many congratulations. And let me know your delivery date if you are getting one, because from what I've heard from owners that I've spoken to is that they haven't really been given one, which is a bit of a shame. Normally it'd be nice if they had a little bit of an estimate, sort of like if it's 3, 4, 5 months. But yeah, no ETA is kind of where we're at. But thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers, guys.